Emmanuel Macron, he's mad. You guys, he's big mad about this. Check out this headline coming from the Daily Mail. It says, furious, Emmanuel Macron finally speaks out over claims his wife, Brigitte, was born a man. He's furious, guys. He's really mad. He's so furious. What is he gonna do?
Hey guys, welcome back to That Liminal Period. It's your girl, Chun-Li Shadi, and as you guys can see, today we're going to be having a conversation about a story that broke the internet last week. Candace Owens released a story opening up about the French President Emmanuel Macron and the relationship he has with his wife, Brigitte. There are rumors that the First Lady of France, Brigitte, may not be a lady at all. She might, in fact, be the first gentleman of France. Candace is going to show a few pictures and clips of the information that she has gathered. I'm also going to flash back to a story that we did earlier in the week regarding Jerry and Michelle and the age gap relationship they have. And in the end, I'm going to include a clip from Tony Gaskin, who is a relationship coach, and hopefully he can shed some light on the 25-year age gap relationships and what that might entail. Okay, so without further ado, let's jump into it and see what Candace has to say.
All right, guys, so we were trending in France yesterday. Yeah, Candace Owens trending in France. Kind of a big deal. I love that. Why? For conducting basic research, for conducting a very basic investigation into the credible claims that Brigitte Macron was actually born Jean-Michel Trogneux and lived for 30 years as a man before transitioning into a woman. And guess what? Emmanuel Macron, he's mad. You guys, big mad about this. Check out this headline coming from the Daily Mail. It says, furious, Emmanuel Macron finally speaks out over claims his wife, Brigitte, was born a man. He's furious, guys. He's really mad. He's so furious. What is he gonna do? Well, I would suggest he just shows photos from the first 30 years of his wife's life. It really is that simple. So much anger, so many names, so many insults, so many ad hominem attacks. No attempt to just debunk it. So easy, guys. It really is so easy. Now, why does this matter? Some people are asking, why does it matter? I just want to ask those people back, are you insane? Are you a crazy person to ask why something this big would matter? I mean, it would mean that France is being led potentially by a psychopathic liar and a pedophile. Those would be the implications if this was proven to be true. It would also mean that the entire press in France is implicated in trying to cover up this massive lie. Why else does it matter? I don't know. Take a look at a tweet that was written from this French national. It translates loosely into, the madness is that we French people turned a blind eye in 2017, accepting that a child vampirized by an adult becomes our leader without even worrying about morals and ethics, without even recognizing that this necessarily has a psychotic impact on the guy. Yeah, in other words, it matters a lot. Because as I said, it would mean that France, very similar to America, has no press. We all would just have an extension of the government that is pretending to report the news. And this time the news, I think it's very credible if they actually want to report on it. The story here seems incredibly credible. And I think it's more credible due to the unbelievable level of gaslighting that is going on. Gosh, the entire French press, the mainstream press, attacks me. Conspiracy theory, debunked, far right, transphobe, blah, 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 blah. These magic tricks don't work anymore. You guys, wake up. It doesn't work anymore. We don't care anymore. The people of all of these countries are tired of routinely being called names when you guys have no evidence to the contrary. So let's briefly recap these claims. And you guys, if you don't know what we're talking about, please go back and watch Monday's episode. It's already got more than 1 million views. People all over the world are paying attention because, as I said, the lies being told in the press right now are an absolute nonsense. But we'll briefly recap it here. Number one, the claim is that Brigitte Macron lived as a man named Jean-Michel, or John Michael, for 30 years before becoming Brigitte. Here's a side-by-side photo. Instantly very credible. Number two, Brigitte Macron claims that no, Jean-Michel is her brother. Problem is that her brother's missing. Her brother, who she claims is alive, we just cannot turn up anywhere. It'd be very easy for her to just go on a little walk and say, here is Jean-Michel. We just happen to look alike. But no, Brigitte Macron refuses to do that. And then in terms of genealogical data, people prowling through the internet and looking, what they have revealed is that a person named Jean-Michel existed for about 30 years and then just stopped existing. And then suddenly Brigitte Macron arrived and existed. So yeah, that's problematic. Number 3, there are no photos of Brigitte Macron in the first 30 years of her living. This is the biggest point. Again, as I have demonstrated, it's very easy to show photos of you living for 30 years. In fact, the opposite is happening. The press, in one circumstance, has tried to pass off a photo of her daughter. They just turned it into a black and white photo and said, oh, no, there's Brigitte. In a desperate attempt to pretend that Brigitte existed as a child. Here is a side-by-side photo. It is obviously Trifane in this photo. Trifane is the name of her daughter. So that's weird. It's also weird that they're sending the police to threaten people that are covering the story. It's just very bizarre. Number 4, the international press could not locate her alleged ex-husband that she allegedly had 3 children with. That's a big deal. Yes, when Emmanuel Macron became president, the international press, nobody was trying to spin a conspiracy theory, just said, wow, this is weird. We can't find her ex-husband. And perhaps even more bizarre is they similarly tried to pass off a fake picture of him as evidence that he existed. Here is the photo that was circulated of him, and that turned out to be a faculty photo from the school that Brigitte taught at, La Providence. The man in that photo is a man named Claude Hugo, a fellow teacher. So what's going on? Brings us to number 5. Well, if these claims are true, ones that should very much be investigated, that would mean that Brigitte Macron is actually 78 years old, 8 years older than she claims to be. Giving credence to that claim, by the way, are the various interviews over the years where Brigitte just seems to keep forgetting how old she's supposed to be. For an example, as we brought up, she implausibly said that she was living in the United States during the moon landings of 1969, except that would have made Brigitte 16. Brigitte said she was living alone during the moon landings. No, 16-year-olds are not allowed to live alone in the United States. But if she was 8 years older, if Brigitte was 24, then she very much could have been living alone. So today we are going to build upon something that people don't quite understand. So I want to make it clear for you. The question is, well, how does she have children if she was a man? You can see some resemblance between her and Trifane, definitely, right? Candace, this just couldn't have happened. This is ridiculous. Well, guys, the claim is that she fathered the children. Again, I'm saying this allegedly, and I'm going to take you through this theory. The claim is that while living as a man, Jean-Michel fathered children. And those...
So as you guys can see exactly why it broke the internet. There are some hot takes, and you guys can check out the full story on Candace Owens' YouTube page. I'm going to go ahead and link it down below. In addition to the rumors of her being transgender, I wanted to go ahead and share some pictures of Brigitte when she was still a drama teacher at the same school that Emmanuel was attending when he was 15 years old. At this point, his parents actually thought that he was dating Brigitte's daughter, who is also in his class and his same age. This is exactly why I said it is very similar to the Drea Michelle case, but I'm also going to point out some of the differences, okay? Brigitte is a grown-ass woman, apparently. She is an adult, 39 years old, married with 3 children, and then starts a love affair with a 15-year-old drama student. Crazy.
Back in 1993, in the small French town of Amiens, school children from the drama class of Madame Azur played on stage. The audience was delighted. At the end of the performance, the young actors went up on the platform with their teacher for the final bow, and one of the actors and an excellent student, Emmanuel Macron, approached the teacher and kissed her on the cheek. She didn't mind because it looked so innocent. Madame Azur was a married 40-year-old woman and mother of 3 kids, and Emmanuel was an ordinary 16-year-old guy. Nobody thought that they could be connected. But in the small town of Amiens, rumors spread quickly. Soon everyone in the school was talking about the fact that the student and the teacher spend a lot of time together, too much time, and soon everyone will find out the truth about this forbidden love. However, at first the communication between the teacher and the student didn't arouse any suspicions in everyone. She was the wife of a respected man in the city and mom of 3.
So in addition to those pictures that you guys saw of the PDA shared between the two, I want to share an article where Emmanuel's parents detailed how they found out about their son's love affair with his 39-year-old teacher. The schoolboy's parents had believed their son was dating his teacher's daughter, Lawrence, until the truth came out through a family friend. Shocked at the illicit affair, the Macrons removed the intellectually gifted teenager from the school. The shaken parents met up with Brigitte and asked her to not see their son again until he reached adulthood, but she defiantly told him she couldn't promise anything. Again, the young Macron was not a student in his future wife's French class, but in her drama lessons where she taught a second subject. She recalls being in awe of his exceptional intelligence, a way of thinking that I had never seen before, and that when she had arrived at Le Provence, all the teachers were buzzing about Emmanuel. The unlikely pair grew close when they co-authored a play. Miss Treneau told a friend years later, "You know, the day when we wrote the play together, I had a feeling I was working with Mozart. The writing became an excuse. I felt that we had always known each other." And this is why I want to draw the comparison between this and the story we did earlier in the week between Drea Michelle and Jalen Green. In that story, I did mention that I did not think that Drea Michelle was a groomer. However, I did think that she did target Jalen Green because she wanted to secure the bag. She knew that he idolized her. She knew that she was a public figure and that he probably fantasized about her. So therefore, she manipulated him, got her claws into him, and now she is pregnant with her 3rd child and 3rd baby daddy. Okay. The difference here between Drea and Brigitte is that Brigitte had a direct relationship with Macron when he was a child. He was 14 when they met and 15 when he joined her class. She built a close relationship with him, having one-on-one time with him, working closer to him than she did with other students, showing admiration and adoration to him, towards him, and even to the faculties around her. The love that she had, or the admiration that she had for this young boy, was not unknown. Even his parents approached her and asked, "Yo, stay away from my kids. Back up. He's a child." And she said, "Can't promise anything. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not." And did you guys know that Macron actually ended up dating her, promised her at the age of 22 that he was going to come back and marry her? Okay. Brigitte continued to stay in her marriage and had a love affair with him for the next several years until he came back and, like he said, married her. She divorced her husband the year before when Macron was only 28 and married him when he was 29. And if that's not grooming, I don't know what is. You're in love with a boy that is the same age as your youngest daughter. In addition to these rumors that Brigitte is trans, Brigitte is a child groomer, there were also rumors back in 2017 regarding Emmanuel and his sexual preferences. I'm going to go ahead and flash on the screen so you guys can see what I'm talking about and we can get on the same page, okay? As you guys can see here on the screen, this is Benella and that is Emmanuel Macron, and they were 2 peas in a pod, okay? So whenever you saw Macron, you would see Benella right behind him. So there were rumors back in 2017 that these two had a secret love affair. You would see Benella always around him, and often you would see him wearing a police badge, even though he was not qualified by any means. He also received a generous salary and lived within the Elysee where Macron lived as well. And as you guys can see here, it's just Macron and Benella enjoying a beautiful day out, cruising on their bikes. So this was the affair that really led to Benella getting released from his position. In May 2018, Elysee Chief Security Alexandra Benella, wearing a police visor next to Vincent Cross, a security aide for Macron's Republic on the Move party, as they drug away a demonstrator during May 1st protest in Paris. So during this arrest, Benella was actually seen brutally beating the protesters. And again, Benalla has no qualifications. He is not a policeman or anything. And in this case, Macron actually said that he was shadowing to see a day in the life of a security officer. So in addition to the hot tea, I thought this little tidbit would be kind of spicy to add on. And although it doesn't have anything directly to do with Emmanuel Macron, he is involved. The new Prime Minister of France is actually openly gay, and his name is Gabriel Attal. And Emmanuel Macron appointed Gabriel's ex-partner, Stéphane Séjourné, to be the foreign minister. I don't know. Like, I haven't heard much about that, but for some reason, I think that's going to brew some drama. When you have two openly gay guys who are ex-partners running the same office, and then also someone else that is allegedly gay being involved in doing the appointee. I don't know. For some reason, I'm just going to go ahead and throw it out there. I think it has something to do with something, and I'm curious to see. Okay. But as I said, I want to throw in a Tony Gaskin clip and see how it all kind of ties in. And maybe some of the rumors has something to do with the age gap relationship that Emmanuel currently has with his wife, Brigitte. You guys let me know what you guys think. And I'm going to end it off with this clip. Bye.
Woman who already have a lot of rumors and speculation out there about her and already has children. So none of that is adding up for a young man who have the world at his fingertips to go be with a woman with that type of resume and situation. None of it makes sense. So what it also appears sometimes with these situations, and not saying that this is the situation because I don't know the young man, you will get boxed in and people will start to call you certain things. Pretty, sweet, fruity, and some of that stuff will take hold on you. And you may start to become bi-curious. And so sometimes these much older women to these younger men who really have a bunch of options but choose this much older woman, sometimes that woman is the man's cover-up.